Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing here on this Thursday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning with Reganelite here on Thursday, the 8th of January 2026, just at 11 o'clock in the morning UK time. For reference, we are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite and on twitch.tv/Reganelite1. For those who are new here and don't know what we do here on this live stream, I do this show every Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. What we do is we cover today's daily quota. We have a look at the we'll look at the weather and what's happening in terms of the weather, and then we have a look at see what the news is talking about. Sometimes UK specific, sometimes world, and sometimes a mixture of both. Depends on what day of the week it is. Today we're going to be looking at UK news specifically here. Going to be looking through on websites such as The Guardian, the BBC, The Independent, the Financial Times, The Times, Telegraph, The iPaper, The Independent, Sky News and such. So we'll see what the headlines they have there for us here. Just a quick reminder, if you like and support the work that I do, please feel free, if you're on YouTube, to hit that like button and share this across social media. Consider subscribing as well. If you're on Twitch, do consider hitting that follow button as well, and do consider hitting the bell notification icon so you'll be notified of when I go live. And finally, I'll remind you guys throughout the live stream that I will be going live tonight at 8 o'clock with a Van Man Talks. Myself and I are going to be talking about lots of things. Mainly we're going to be talking about why people are getting attached to reform. We're going to talk about the right-wing influence, the cost of living, and we're going to have those discussions tonight. And I may ask a little bit about what's happening globally as well from his point of view perspective, because as far as I'm aware, I don't think he's talked about. I had done a video about what's happened in Venezuela, just for reference there. Matty Von Eric, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Ellie, good morning to you. And Indy Duckwell, good morning to you all. Hope you guys are all doing well. I know you guys haven't seen them for a while, but I just wanted to share them that the gang are still here. I know you can't use emojis for them anymore, but the gang are still here. They're just obviously really, really sad. And they don't really have much of a role anymore since memberships have been taken away, guys. And don't know if or when we're going to get monetized again. But like I say, if people do want to financially support me, best way to do so is either buy me a coffee or join the Patreon. If you could do one of those two. I've only had one buy me a coffee this week. So if anyone wants to help out, feel free to do so. If you are already a paid Patreon member, please do consider keeping your auto renewal on, so that it keeps it at least gives something towards the work that I do. That'd be greatly appreciated there. Rosemary, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Just saw you pop up there as well. So here is today's daily quota here for the 8th of January. Dr. Seuss for that one. Dr. Seuss is for that one. And it goes like this. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Yeah, I think everyone that can fully accept that one. I'd be mad if you didn't accept that one. Indeed. Tomorrow's one's a very nice one. I think it's quite a fitting one, with considering we're going to be touching on mental health tomorrow. Indeed there. Right, let's go to the news, guys, and see what we're going to be looking at today here. What's happening in the big, beautiful planet that is Earth. Here it is in all of its glory. Plenty of snowstorms, plenty of rainstorms, and plenty of dry spells across the planet, as we can see there. Zoom in a bit further in. Yellowknife of -31, Anchorage -32, Vancouver 4, San Francisco 10, Ottawa 2, New York 9, Miami toasty 27, Mexico 19 there. The South America hasn't had too much change in temperatures, but there is some fair share of rain, tropical storms around on the continent there. Same in middle to southern Africa there. Not too much change. A bit of rainstorms here and there, but temperatures are raining roughly around about the same there. Moving a bit further over to the other side of the planet. Perth, Darwin and Sydney 17, 27, 22 respectfully there in Australia. Auckland 19 degrees there. We've got Colombo at 25 degrees. The Philippines there are very warm, 25 degrees, again with shower storms there. A bit further up, we have Japan, Tokyo, getting a few snowstorms, but not as bad as it was yesterday, but 0 degrees for them. Beijing, -3 degrees. In the Middle East and New Delhi, India, there 5 degrees in some parts. Tehran 6, Baghdad 12, Riyadh 15 there. Cairo is 20 degrees as well. What's our friends in Iceland looking at in terms of temperature? They are -2 today from the looks of it here. Just for reference, this is 6 o'clock today is what they're referencing the time zones here. Oslo, a very cold -12 today. -12. Murmansk -24, very cold up there as well. Zoom a bit further in to see what's happening in terms of Europe here. We've got Madrid at 5 degrees, Lisbon at 13 there, with some rain in the northern parts of Portugal and parts of Spain, but most of it is dry clouds there. Tripoli there 12. Algiers, I hope I said that right, is 12. Tunis 14. Parmelo 12. Rome 6. Nice 9 there. So Italy looks like it's going to have bits of mainly a dry day. Italy's going to have there. We can see Bern in Switzerland, the Alps there are very frosty, 3 degrees, but a big snowstorm is taking place around there. Also in Austria there, as you can from where it's geography wise. Looking over here in parts of Turkey, looks like they're getting some rain and snowstorms, definitely getting their fair share over there in Turkey. Athens 12, Istanbul 8. Antalya 7, Bucharest -2. Zagreb, very cold, -10. That's very, very chilly for them. Vienna -2. Prague -4. Berlin -4. Warsaw -7. Chistu -3. Very cold temperatures in Eastern Europe at this time here. Very, very cold indeed. Warsaw there, very much colder, -7 there as well. And there's that big snowstorm there. We can see canvassing parts of Ukraine, parts of Poland, and parts of Belarus and Russia. There you can see pretty much a massive snowstorm there. Minsk -9, Vilnius -9, Moscow -8 there. St. Petersburg are -11 there. Kiev are 2 degrees there, so just over the mark, but nonetheless it's still very, very cold temperatures, of course, in the country that is sadly in conflict there. Zooming in a bit more, Paris here. We can see Paris and Brussels. Paris is 8 degrees and Brussels is 3. But as we can see, guys, there is that rain and snowstorm that is expected to hit. As of right now, if I pull it a bit further back, that storm hasn't hit us yet. So I'm thinking of going out. I might go for a walk while it's calm, because it is calm right now out there. And then in a few hours' time, that storm is gonna hit us. So this is what it is right now. Temperatures are here for 12 o'clock right now. But if we move it, as you can see, that storm is gonna hit pretty much the Wales and Midlands of England, pretty much where I am. So if I want to go for a walk, I better go straight after this live stream if I want to avoid that storm. Cross fingers, I'll get back home before then. Cardiff 5, London 5. Manchester 3, Dublin 5, Belfast 3, Edinburgh 1 there. And we can see those wind gauges there, quite tough there. Parts of Scotland, most of it is going to be dry. Looks like most of it will be dry up there. Same for Belfast, most of that will be dry here. But we got this combination of rain and snow here. If we move it a bit further on for today in 9 o'clock in the evening, you can see that storm there coming through all the way over Wales and England there. So winds aren't as high as I was expecting the winds to be a lot higher. It says 12, 11. I mean, they're still high winds, but I thought they would be a lot higher. But maybe you'll get more as day goes on there. You can see that snow there. Looks like there'll be dissipating over lots of parts of mid and northern Wales. Well, most of Wales practically there. The Midlands and the north of England there is going to be experiencing that as well. Some of that rainstorm may drip up further north into Scotland and maybe even Northern Ireland, but most of this is going to be experienced in England and Wales. And of course, when snow falls, the train drivers here in England have a panic attack because they don't know what to do when snow falls. Overnight, we can see those temperatures there. Not too bad, but we've had worse temperatures. 2, London 6 apparently, 3, and 0 degrees. So temperatures not too bad where I am, but in other parts it'll be much chillier. but that rain and snow is still going to be there overnight into Friday morning. So pretty much from 2 o'clock onwards, it's going to be we're going to be experiencing this storm here where I am, from the looks of it here. But going into tomorrow here, we can see that rain is still going to be around. Temperatures staying roughly around about the same at 3 to 1 degrees there. Moving into lunchtime, a little slight increase in temperatures there. That rainstorm still hasn't dissipated, still there on the eastern side of England there. Most of it is cleared up in parts of northern England and Wales there, but there's still some tiny bits and bobs around there. But moving into Friday evening, temperatures again staying roughly around about the same. There's still that storm there as it goes into Europe. Now looking into tomorrow evening here, this is what the temperatures are looking like here. Temperatures are really dropping down here. 33210 in Belfast there, so very cold there. So Friday overnight into Saturday here, we can see those temperatures really dropping there. This is what they're forecasting from Friday night into Saturday morning here. Very cold, 0, 0, 0, 2, 2 and 2. There, with some parts of Scotland is going to experience some snow overnight from the looks of it there. Parts of Wales and parts of northern England are going to experience it there from what they're forecasting here. But looking into early Saturday morning there, some of that snow looks like will dissipate over the UK entirely. Some bits may still be around, but most of it looks like it's going to clear. And then we have lunchtime here. Temperatures going to slightly increase in some parts of the UK there, but most of it is staying roughly around about the same degrees. Dublin and Cardiff going up to 5, while the rest stays at 1, 2 and 3 degrees. Is still going to be cold nonetheless here. That's still just tiny dissipates of snow in the north, but mainly dry on Saturday in England and Wales and most of Northern and Ireland there. Going into Saturday evening, temperatures 0, 4, 2, 2, 2 and 0 there. Going overnight into Sunday morning there, we can see a big drop in temperatures on much dropper further in temperatures here. 0, 0, -1 in Cardiff 1 there. Yeah, overnight Sunday morning there, you can see those temperatures going to be very cold. We can see this storm brewing on the left hand side of the screen there as time's going on. I believe that is, yep, it is coming across into the UK there. Going to hit parts of Ireland and maybe parts of Northern Ireland Sunday morning there. Yeah, it does. And it looks like Sunday lunchtime, there's going to be some more snow going to be forecast over parts of Scotland. Pretty much it looks like all of Scotland, not just the northern parts, but it looks like the mid and south of Scotland is going to be experiencing that snow. And Sunday lunchtime, the entire country is expected to be covered in a massive snowstorm, is what they are forecasting here on Sunday evening here from the looks of it, while a massive rainstorm is covering most of Ireland as well as part of Wales here. But temperatures aren't too bad from the looks of it for Sunday. 6, 5, 4, 9, 10 and 8. So a little bit better than some of the other days we've had. But overnight, Sunday night into Monday morning here, it looks like that snowstorm is also going to dissipate over parts of England and maybe parts of Wales there as it comes over. But we can see, if you look at these temperatures from Sunday night into Monday morning, they're not too bad. They're not too bad. It's not going to be as cold. So chances of some of that snow settling, depending on where you are, won't be as bad there. But yeah, into Monday morning, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 8, 6. This is probably the first time this year where actually the temperatures won't be as bad overnight for Sunday. So Sunday night, the temperatures will be much warmer. It'll be the first time some of us will experience that. Yeah. So yeah, we are going to get some rain on Monday there, but we'll look at a bit more on that tomorrow there. But we can see temperatures there, although they're not as bad as they have been the last couple of days here. So yeah, pretty much get to Sunday, guys, and the temperatures look like it's going to warm up a little bit. Are they going to stay like that? Yeah, it looks like Monday and Tuesday looks like they're going to stay roughly around about the same. So it's not going to be, so Monday and Tuesday looks like it's not going to be too bad. So in terms of temperatures, yeah, we'll get some rain, we'll get some snow Monday and Tuesday possibly, but temperatures will significantly increase than what we're experiencing right now. So That's a very good sign indeed. But if you're living around where I am, in parts of Wales and mid and southern England, storm is coming. It's only going to be here in a matter of hours, so do prepare for it. If you're up in Scotland or Northern Ireland, most of chances are you'll probably be all right. You won't experience too much problems today. Just for reference there. Let me say hello to people who've joined who I haven't said hello to, who've come in while I've been covering that. Five for Scott, good to see you there, my friend. Hope you're doing well. One of our moderators. User, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Person impersonator as well. Good morning to you. Scott Hayes, good morning to you and everyone else in chat. Yes, indeed. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Ben Shaw, good morning to you as well. Hope you are all right. Witchy Goth there as well. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. And anybody else lurking in chat, if I haven't said hello to you, hope you guys are doing all right. Just again, a quick reminder, myself and Van Man Talks tonight at 8 o'clock. Do join us for that if you can. Right, let's touch on what's happening in the news, UK specifically, guys. So start with The Guardian here. It's got under front headlines under UK politics. Starmer says Reform UK, or Reform Russia, sorry, and Tories are in crucial alliance as the bill to get rid of the two-child benefit cap unveiled. UK Politics Live, it says. The legislation will be introduced today, and the government says it will lift almost 500,000 children out of poverty. It's worth remembering there's a lot of evil politicians who want to see children in poverty in Parliament. And remember, it's really important to emphasise the people who vote against this bill. It's important for them for you to know that if this is a politician in your constituency, in your area, who voted no against supporting the removal of the two-child benefit cap, the headline you need to say to people about the MP in your area, if they voted no, is that they support child poverty. That's the message you need to say. They support child poverty by going against this bill. That's the message you need to say. So if anyone goes against this bill of getting rid of the two-child benefit cap, they support child poverty. It's as simple as that. If you are in favour of the two-child benefit cap, you're in favour of child poverty. There's no discussion about this. It's just simple as that. So make sure if your politician voted against it, votes against it today, make sure you know that your politician supports child poverty. Peter Mandelson accuses European leaders of histrionic reaction to Trump's Greenland stance. What the hell? Article by the former British ambassador to the US is likely to be seen as criticism of Keir Starmer. This accused European leaders, including Keir Starmer, of a histrionic reaction to Donald Trump's plan to take over Greenland, arguing that without hard power and hard cash, they will continue to slide in unimportance in the age of Trump. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Like, he wants to take Greenland for himself when he could easily be working in cooperating with the Kingdom of Denmark and Greenland and with his NATO allies, rather than threatening to take the land for themselves. Is he just thick, or is he just looking to start a fight? In his further political comments as being sacked as British ambassador to Washington last year, Lord Mandelson said Trump has achieved more in a day than orthodox diplomacy than was able to achieve in the past decade when he captured the Venezuelan president. He didn't capture, it was kidnapped. This is the wrong language here. The term is kidnapped, okay? Interventions like to be seen as critics. Yeah, this guy is an idiot. And also, this guy is he was in the Epstein file, so that says all we need to say about him. Reeves condemns Farage's position, Farage's opposition to the two-child benefit cap. Yep, so Nigel Farage supports child poverty. That's the headline, that's the tweet you need to put out on it, guys. Yeah. Suggestion that only British-born families should have the two-child benefit cap lifted. He's saying only two British families should do it, saying that Reform UK leader will keep children in poverty based on their skin colour. That's blatant racism right there. Farage told a press conference on Wednesday that his party would vote against scrapping of the two-child limit, having previously suggested he could back the change. He said he was concerned that it would benefit huge numbers of foreign-born people. He does realise that that illegal... that's not the right word. He does realise that people who claim asylum, that they can't just jump straight onto the benefit system. He does realise that, right? Reeves has said that those comments were akin to saying some families deserve to have children in poverty. I don't really care what colour skin is. Some deserve to be in poverty and some don't. That makes you pretty angry, she says. Does Nigel Farage want to go around and say, white, yeah, you can have the money. Black, no, sorry, it's not for you. What sort of country does he think we are? That's a very good tone to use from the Chancellor there. They're really painting Nigel Farage as a racist there. Yeah. If you're a mum next door who works in the NHS, has lived here all her life, her kids lived here all her life, but she was born somewhere else, we're saying that her family deserves to grow up in poverty, whereas the one next door doesn't. That's not the sort of country I believe in. Yeah, that's exactly what Nigel Farage is the picture he's painting. Has the chap stopped working, or is just nobody talking? I don't know if it's not updating. Margarina oil tanker changed flags 5 times in 5 years, says the Defence Secretary. Okay, sure. Okay, so that justifies seizing the oil tanker. Okay. So is that the justification for the US sieging an oil tanker in the sea? Okay. Commons Women and Equalities Committee to stop using X amid AI altering image row. That's not going to. The government needs to take action on this. It's not enough yet. The government needs to take action on that issue. More follows outcry use of Grok to digitally removing clothing images of women and children. Colvin and Pauling. Yep. Speaking on Wednesday, Keir Starmer spokesperson said all options remain on the table for Ofcom, which had the power to impose fines and restrictions, restrict access to a site. Restrict access to X. Restrict access to X. This is the thing. Like, you need to make the mess. This is another opportunity for Keir Starmer to show he has a spine. To say to literally, I've said this yesterday, and I said this, and I say this now. This is another opportunity for the Prime Minister to grow a spine, and literally say to X, if you don't deal with this, we're gonna basically remove you from our country. Literally, like, just say that. Just say we will block X from the UK. Literally say that. Like, if you tell them and threaten to do that, he will take action. Because they do not want to be kicked out of the UK. And if America gets huff and puffy about it, will you tell them, so you guys support what he's doing? Like, yeah. Just stand up to it. So Nigel Farage has missed racist anti-Semitic school bullying claims, has made up fantasies. Okay, so all the alleged victims are making it up, right? They're all making it up, apparently. Summer vows to review franchise legislation in response to Vodafone case. That was the story in Prime Minister's Questions. We saw someone lost their life there. It was an absolutely horrible story. Holiday Inn that turned away homeless man despite rooms being paid for. Charity workers describes incident in Manchester hotels disgusting and complete discrimination on appearance. 2 homeless men were turned away from a Holiday Inn in a sub-zero temperature despite their booking already being paid for, charity has said. The hotel in Manchester City Centre refused to accommodate the man, and staff members apparently told them, I know you're from the streets, and the hotel doesn't allow it. Temperatures fell to 6 degrees overnight on Monday when the homeless charity Two Brews booked 2 rooms for the men at the Holiday Inn at Oxford Road. An amber cold weather alert was in place across the country at the time, with the UK Health Security Agency warning the risk of increased deaths. The men were turned away days after another homeless man in Manchester was found dead on Boxing Day after spending the night in the freezing conditions. You notice how, they never talk about this. Another person's lost their life when we could have provided warmth and shelter for them, and that person is now dead. Amanda Thompson, one of the charity workers, described how the men were accompanied to the Holiday Inn reception after their £200 rooms were booked online with charity donations and her own money. We put it through, got the confirmation, and we're taking it down to check in for the night. After getting it there, it was just complete discrimination by appearance. It's disgusting, she told the Manchester Evening News. Can't wrap my head around how you can go to the desk with a booking that is paid for and be turned away just for being a rough sleeper. They could be hard-working men that are judged on how they look. Just one look at them and made a decision. It's inhumane. Thompson said the men were taken from a nearby travel lodge who were so helpful and accommodated 6 or 7 homeless people that night, as well as 4 dogs. Hey! That says a lot, doesn't it? That says a lot about Holiday Inn. Look at that. Yeah, go to Travelodge. Travelodge said the men were. Travelodge took them in. They accommodated 6 or 7 homeless people that night, as well as 4 dogs. Fair play to Travelodge. Fair play to them, guys. If you need a hotel booking, you go with Travelodge. Give them props there. Give them props. The Holiday Inn owner has been contacted for comment. IHG states online that it offers access for all and it aims to make hotel facilities available and accessible for all guests. Having a video shared online, a member of staff at the hotel reception can be heard refusing their booking, saying Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be able to check you in. Full truth and transparency. I know you're from the streets and the hotel doesn't allow it. It's not a personal thing. We know people. We've been doing the door for a long time. It's company policy. It's not my personally. It's the company's. Thompson said the illnesses left her infuriated. It was so cold, make me so angry. It's frustrating and a wave of emotions. So the person who refused is basically saying it's nothing to do with him. It's to do with the company policy. So basically, what they're basically saying is Holiday Inn are basically saying if you are homeless and you require shelter, you are not welcome here. regardless of how cold it is outside, we don't care. Whereas Travelodge, in desperate situation, will accommodate you in a desperate means. Well done, Travelodge, for standing up. Tesco aiming for bumper 2026 after best Christmas market share in a decade. So Tesco did well during the Christmas period, from the looks of it there. UK competition watchdog to investigate Kinmill owner plan to take over in Hovis. Why is this still happening? Tunbridge Royal residents without water again as supplier blames cold weather. South East Water says 6,500 households have no water due to main burst a month after drinking water outages. You have got to be kidding me. This is still happening. Residents of Tunbridge Wells have been left without water again just a month after a major outage. It blames the cold weather for the disruption, which caused a series of bursts of water pipes. The company previously planned to be spending more paid dividends and servicing its debt pile over 2 years and investing in infrastructure. The company said it has set up water bottle stations that deliver priority to customers. Blah, 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 blah. We apologise. Blah, 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 blah. We have teams working around the clock. Blah, 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 blah. Repairing leaks and birds. And but South East Water, they should not be getting a single penny from customers over this. They should not. They predicted there would be low and intermediate water supplies throughout Thursday, but the local MP, the Liberal Democrat Mike Markin, said the issue could persist for days. The issue is a number of leaks draining the reservoir. SDW are currently fixing a number of leaks that will allow them to stabilise the reservoir levels. I don't have confidence that this will be tomorrow, i.e. the water will be fully restored tomorrow. I think it will be intermittent for a few days. From the 30th of November last year, so from them, 24,000 homes in the Tunbridge Wells area were without drinking water for 2 weeks due to a failure at Pembury Water Treatment Centre. I remember kicking off about that. Earlier this week, the Chief Executive of South East Water, David Hinton, came under fire at the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs Parliamentary Select Committee after he suggested that people working from home were responsible for water shortages. You got some nerve. Wow. You've got some nerve. I need to find a clip of this and send this to Daily Blase. He needs to. I hope he can. If he hasn't already, got a video of this. I have not seen the video. There's going to be video footage of this because this was a select committee. I need to find out about that. Give me 1 second, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, because I want to actually save that. Because I think it's really, really. Just give me a moment. We'll read a bit more in a second. There we go. Chief Inspector at the Drinking Water Inspectorate refuted his claims, saying the same hearing and said the same outrage was foreseen and could be prevented. They literally said this last year. South East Water said it was reviewing the letter. So are there going to be any accountability for them? No. Again. Amber warning: storm Gorotti threatens heavy snowfall. Yep, it's gonna get cold outside. Is that everything from The Guardian? I think so. Let's have a look and see what else is going on here, you guys. Hi Martin, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Pub tax concessions possibly as backlash grows. The cost of the new logo for nationalised trains revealed. Oh, the cost has been revealed. Okay, so how much taxpayer money has been wasted on this bollocks? £30,000 of taxpayer money has been spent on creating the new logo for the nationalised rail service, Sky News can reveal. Transport Secretary Heidi unveiled the emblem last month, which branded nationalised train underwater. As well as a fresh logo to feature Philippines double arrow. A child could have done this for free for them. And instead they paid £30,000 for the logo. A child could have done it for free for them. and they decide to waste £30,000. I would have rather had a child's drawing than that. Insist it isn't just a paint job, said the design represents a new way of cutting off the infrastructure of the past. But now can be revealed that the exercise to design the logo and paint job costs $32,400. Okay, just the paint job as well. Freedom of information requests sent by Sky News found more than 27,000, excluding VAT, was spent on audience accessibility testing for the redesign using a specialist agency. Specialist agency for the design, guys. Specialist agency. What a waste of money. The total 32,000 included creating a mock-up of a future GPR app and a set of poster designs. Oh, okay. This is going to be the app as well. Well, I'm just like, for me, it's just like there's so many cheaper ways of doing that. Starmer set out his position on Greenland in a call with Trump. So, so after Prime Minister's questions, did he spoke to him? Yeah. Been vocal about desire to annex territory. Spokesman Price Minister said the call also included discussion about the import of the Bella 1 tanker, sometimes called the Marina, which involved US and UK military forces. UK military forces were involved as well, guys. The Prime Minister spoke with Donald Trump. So he spoke with President Trump last night, apparently. Well, at least he finally spoke to him. Took him long enough. Farage warns Trump invading Greenland would be the end of NATO. Does that mean that Farage is in favour of the destruction of NATO? Yeah, of course it is. Calls for monthly student loan payments backed by dozens of Labour MPs. The MP who tabled 342 questions in a single day. What was the point of that? Number of written questions to government department doubles in a year. Senior government source has suggested MPs may be using AI to submit written questions to ministers. Wow. Talk about lazy. MPs are being accused of diverting resources and wasting public money after a number of written parliamentary questions rose to 90,000, up from 45,000 in 2024, which was close to the average for a previous decade. The Department of Health and Social Care saw a 97% increase in questions compared to the previous year. The Home Office saw a 92% increase. The Department of Education saw a 97% increase, and the House Department saw a 101% increase. Submissions from some MPs surged from 10 to 24 in the second half of 2025 compared to the same period the year before, following the general election. Just 10 MPs account for 20% of the Commons. Just 10 MPs account for 20% of the Commons WSP submitted in the second half of 2025. Only just 10 MPs. These include Lib Dem MP Al Pinkerton, who used increase of more than 20-fold from 36 to 721. Yeah, you're definitely using AI. You don't go from 36 to 721 without using artificial intelligence there. Independent MP James McMurdoch alone saw 342 questions tabled in his name on a range of subjects from Palestine funding to road deterioration and UK-Italy Young Leaders Programme. Palestine funding. What about Israeli funding? All MPs we spoke to strongly rejected any claims that their questions waste time or they're not in the public interest, and no MPs admitted to using AI in their questions. That's bollocks. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's bollocks. You don't go from 36 to 721. You can't. I'm sorry. I'm not buying this interpretation that AI wasn't used to generate some of your questions. Nah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that from them. No, I'm not buying it. Trains already being cancelled. Yep. So I'm glad I'm not travelling today. For those who are travelling, I really do feel for people who have to travel by train or public transport today. I really do. Just see, weight loss jabs may be needed for life. Police watchdog investigating after officers wrongly told family's son had died in crash. What? They told the wrong family? Police wrongly employed serial rapist after vetting relaxed to meet recruitment targets. Thousands of officer staff were hired or retained without proper checks, with more than 133 going on to commit misconducts and crimes. The MPs were active vetting to reduce recruitment targets. When was this exactly? Reviewers found thousands of recruits joined the forces while undergoing proper checks as bosses abandoned national guidelines and efforts to meet the Tory government policy to recruit 20,000 officers in England and Wales. In their desperation to hit their targets, the Conservatives told them to screw the Czechs and just get them on board. Even though they could be a threat. Insane. Home Secretary Shabir Mallah called the failings a dereliction of the Met's duty to keep London safe. She ordered the police inspector to carry out an urgent independent probe. Michelle, 26, was given a life sentence 2024 for attacks on 2 victims over 9 years. Was initially rejected from the force because of previous allegations of child rape. But a vetting power aiming at reducing disproportionately towards ethnic minorities overturned the decision, and he joined the police force in August 2020. Carrick, 51, who is one of the UK's worst ever sex offenders, had joined the Met in 2001, but a re-vetting error in 2017 meant he was allowed to work as an arms officer until he was arrested in 2021. He's serving 37 life sentences. How the hell did they mess that up? They are among 131 officers and staff known to have committed crimes or misconduct after not being properly vetted in the decade to April 2023. They include serious sexual offences, racism, drug misuse, driving offences of freight, and working while intoxicated. Absolutely insane. How the hell do you screw that up? Absolutely insane. A police officer suspended over allegedly misbehaving on holiday. House prices unexpectedly fall, and it's particularly bad in one part of the UK there. Those are some of the stories from Sky News there. Let's have a look and see what the BBC is. Do take BBC with a pinch of salt. UK Armed Forces helped the US siege of a tanker, says the MOD. Why? Why did we do that? Is that to pucker up to the United States, hoping that they won't do anything to us again? British Armed Forces supported the US seizure of the Russian-flagged oil tank in the North Atlantic on Wednesday, the Ministry of Defence had said. The marina, known as Bella 1, was stopped by US Coast Guard to travel northward. The MOD said the US asked the UK for assistance. And why? What? And RSF surveillance aircraft and Royal Air Support took part in the operation. I said the action was in full compliance with international law, and in the UK will not stand by as malign activities increase on high seas. In a statement, MPs on Twitter explained why the UK joined the operation. Henley said the government was stepping up activities against shadow vessels. He discussed the joint operation as well as recent talks in the Ukrainian operation of Venezuela and a phone call with President Trump on yesterday evening. Workers' rights reform will cost billions less after concessions analysis shows. A series of concessions on Labour's flagship worker rights reform will cut the cost of firms adopting them by billions of pounds, the government impact assessment has shown. The initial analysis by officials found that implementing the party's measures to bolster working rights will cost firms up to £5 billion a year. However, an updated analysis on Wednesday, which took into account major concessions made by ministers, said it will now cost companies £1 billion a year. The concessions were welcomed by business groups but faced fierce criticism from some left-wing Labour MPs and union leaders. The Employment Rights Act will give workers access to sick pay and paternity leave from the first day on their job and introduce protections for pregnant women and new mothers. In November, Labour dropped plans to give all workers rights to claims for unfair dismissal from their first day in a job. Instead, it will be enhanced protections after 6 months of employment, the bill's most significant measure. Alongside concessions on unfair dismissal, the government will phase in the overall package over several years, with many of the measures still subject to consultation and secondary legislation. The revised impact assessment also says the lower cost estimates reflecting clear implementation timelines and more available evidence about the policies. But the British Chamber of Commerce said the £1 billion figure is likely to be a massive understatement. So, yeah. Starmer urged to rethink business rate reforms to save pubs. Lib Dem Council asks for election delay weeks after Davies' warning. MP refuses to resign after child sex offender arrest. An MP is arrested on suspicion of rape, a child sex offender and children abduction, has refused to step down despite calls for his resignation. Dan Norris, MP for North East Somerset and Hanlon, was suspended from Labour from the Labour Party in April and has not attended Parliament since his release on police bail 9 months ago. The position claimed that he cannot fully support his constituency and demanded his resignation, has attracted more than 2,000 signatures. In his first statement since arrest, said he will continue to represent his constituents as well, staying across local and national developments. He added he was also handling casework and policy queries and asking parliamentary questions. Confirmed the investigations ongoing with some MPs remaining on conditional bail. Legally, he would only lose his position as an MP if he was charged or convicted, but there is frustration among constituents who claim that he do not have a fully functioning MP. Now, a lot of residents need to come seek my help because they feel like they're not getting any help from their MP, she said. I can't help constituents from other MP seats, so I think there is a real challenge of how people in this constituency get served by their MP. The petition calling for Norris to stand down has garnered 2,100 signatures. It states these allegations severely undermine his ability to effectively represent us in Parliament. If an MP is convicted of an offence or given a custodial sentence, a recall petition would be triggered. According to the Electoral Commission, at least 10% of the voting constituents needed to sign a recall petition for the MP to lose seats, which would then trigger a by-election. A recalled MP can stand as the candidate at the by-election if less than 10% of the voters of the constituency sign the petition. The MP remains in office. Why can we not sign a recall petition? If they're convicted, right. So they can't do anything. That's really bad. So he's been there, he's basically since April. MP said that the MP's office is still dealing with the constituents. Labour has said that MP's office is still dealing with constituents' problems. Since his arrest, he was not attended and he's able to vote by proxy. He's still in his job. He's still getting paid. Yeah, it's not right. It's not right. He's been there since April, guys. April. MPs would vote on using troops in Ukraine, Starmer has said. Murdered MP's daughter, unhappy with review offer. West Midlands Police should go over Israeli football fans. Football ban, says Bagonot. Get over it. Seriously, get over it. Can you just stick your heads out of Israel's arse for once in your life? Like, seriously. Andrew was paid millions for mansion by oligarch linked to bribery scheme there. Man emits knife attack on soldier near a barracks. We touched on that story, not properly vetted. Tesco's and Marks & Spencer report strong Christmas food sales. Marks & Spencer had a good Christmas as well. GCSE results will be available online this summer. Flu bouncing back after Christmas mixing, it says NHS there as well. Families whose son died in the crash were told his survival, said ordeal is unimaginable. Tate modern attacker sentenced for nurse assault. Absolutely disgusting. Why would you attack a nurse? Absolutely just terrible. Thanks for popping in, Billy Kershaw. Appreciate it. Leafskin, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well there as well. Chat's been a little bit quiet this morning. Not quiet this morning. Most people are probably just working and whatnot, just listening in, and appreciate people listening in nonetheless. Just a quick reminder again. Tonight, myself and Van Man Talks at 8 o'clock tonight. Myself and Van Man Talks on my channel tonight. Do join us for that, guys. This is The Independent here. Britain's nuclear threat can't deter Putin, ex-military chief warns. Starmer must stand up to thieving Trump, says Ben Wallace says. Yep, he must stand up, but he won't. Farage said he would vote against putting boots on the ground in Ukraine. Of course he would, because he doesn't want to. Of course he doesn't want to upset his friend Vladimir Putin. His boss. Farage unveils challenger for London's mayoral election. Is it actually somebody? Is it actually a competent person? So who is it? Westminster City Councillor Linnea Culligan, who will also be the figurehead for the party's campaign ahead of the May local election, signalled she will focus a crackdown on crime as reform London's mayoral candidate. Mr Farage says May's local elections were expected to deliver devastating results for both Labour and Tories, will be the single most significant electoral test ahead of the next general election. Counting her candidacy for the 2028 mayoral elections at a press conference in London, surrounded by banners which read "London needs reform," the party leader claimed that the capital is now in the grip of a crime wave by foreign criminal gangs. This is not true. Crime rate is actually one of the lowest. In the world. The capital has actually one of the lowest crime rates on the planet. Believe it or not, in comparison to a lot of major US cities as well. Internationally, the reputation of London is collapsing. No, it's not. This rhetoric is just being done online. In London itself is fine. It's now being talked about as the world is increasingly disparaged in terms of fish does not rot from the head. We need to get rid of Khan. I can absolutely tell you this. I would be absolutely terrified if we get a reformed Russian mayor of London. That would be That would be bad, not just for would not just be bad for residents of London, it would be bad economically for Londoners as well. Think projects would not get done. You will see a lot of cutting from a reformed Russian mayor there. You will see a lot of bus routes get cut. You will see a lot of tubes decrease. You will see transport get decreased. You will see a lot of programs that go towards helping people in London get cut as well. A lot of that is going to happen if we get a reformed Russian mayor. There'll be a new sheriff in town. Will be launching an all-out war on crime. Yeah, that's the only thing you can talk about. Except again, crime is very, very low in London. I'll say a high priorities for the Met to focus on tackling knife crime, drugs, robbery, shoplifting, and rape. The Scallaghan also said she would task the police with targeting, hunting, and prosecuting rape gangs in London. Is that all rape gangs, or is that only foreign ones there? Asking how she would reduce crime, the Westminster Council said she would rewrite London's police and crime plan, giving new marching orders to Metropolitan Police, tackle crime that matters. She's also argued police problems in the Met were about priorities rather than recruitment. Said she would scrap ULEZ. Oh, there we go. There's the first thing. Yep. So more cars on the road in London. If she won power and lie, hitting out what she claims was a war on motors. US requires drivers to pay on how polluting it. She said she was less certain about whether she would get rid of the congestion charge, telling the press conference you have to wait and find out. Pressed about her claim that she would restore London to its glory days, and when she thought those glory days were Mr. Callaghan referred to when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I was scared to walk down the streets. I knew my local Bobby. In fact, when I was growing up, my local teacher lived next to me, and now she can't afford it. My local Bobby lived next to me, and now he can't afford it. Yeah, but what are you going to do to reduce the cost of living in London? There's only so much power that a mayor in London can do. Is he going to run again, Sadiq? A part of me doesn't want him to run again. I want a new, fresh candidate. I'm just seeing if he's going to be running again. He hasn't said whether he's going to run again. I'm assuming that Sadiq Khan's going to run again. Another term? I actually would take another term of Sadiq Khan for reform from Russia. Starmer warned Ukraine will need more than 50,000 troops on the ground. Farage says reform candidate who told Lammy to go home to apologise. Benefits for everybody but us readers on UK post-Brexit struggle. Don't drink at all if you want to drive, Minister says. Yep, that makes total sense. Fresh humiliation for Starmer as Labour falls into third place, apparently, according to is that a polling? Which polling is that? More than common polls put Labour behind the Tories and reform they have there. Interesting. It's interesting he's calling for one of his own to apologise as well. Just looking at the front of UK here, Storm Grocky. More than 100,000 households warned after cyber attack on a council. Where was this? More than 100,000 households warned after cyber attack in Kensington and Chelsea Council. Over 100,000 households have been warned to be vigilant after their data was accessed. Personal data belonging to hundreds of thousands of people is believed to have been stolen by a cyber attack on Kensington and Chelsea Council. Households have been warned by the West London Council to be wary of unexpected calls, messages and links that the information could be used to scam seem legitimate. Simple samples of hacked data by the criminals is now likely to contain sensitive personal information. Residents should be aware of anyone calling to be a council worker who asks for details. Yeah. As a result, they've written over 100,000 articles with guidance of warn residents. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of scammers. That's not good. Some dog food can have worse climate impact than their owner's meal, apparently, according to science. Britain's nuclear can't threat deter. Yeah, we know about that. We've seen that one already. Household spending on alcohol in sharpest drops since the lockdown. Yeah, because it's expensive. It's expensive. It's expensive to drink. And those are all old stories there. Let's switch gears, have a look at the iPapers. But I think I've covered the iPaper for a while. Let's see what they're saying here, guys. Just check who's in the chat. Peach Music, good to see you there. I hope you are doing well. And everybody else lurking in the chats. Appreciate you guys giving your time for me. UK prepared to seize more of Putin's shadow ships. An exclusive from the iPaper here. The mission described by Defence Secretary John Henley as a seamlessly executed operation marks a new phase in the Grey War, is what he says, between Russia and the West. Exclusive as Trump threatens Greenland, UK's Arctic task force is missing in action, apparently. So where are our forces then? How the UK's drink driving laws compare to the rest of the world, and explain that there. Pub tax U-turn inevitable as landlords demand lower business rates. West Streeting says the first 9 conditions you could be treated from anywhere in England. UK and France to deploy troops across Ukraine if there was a Russia peace deal. Breathalyzers can be fitted to car ignitions to stop drink driving. That's an interesting idea. Front of UK. What else they got here? Putin will move on Europe when Trump has finished dismantling NATO. Yep. I'm 94 and drive better than teenagers, and I'll take a new test to prove it. Good for you. Yeah, there are some old people who are really who can drive just fine, but it varies. It varies. What else they got here? Those all we covered those stories already. Any other stories here? World news. Musk is back to help Trump reshape the world, and the UK is on its hit list. Any other stories we haven't seen here? These are all old stories there. So that's it there from the iPaper. Got about 9 minutes left. Again, reminder, guys, tonight, myself, Van Man Talks at 8 o'clock. Do join us for that live stream if you can. We'll be talking about reform. We're going to talk about the cost of living. We're going to talk about why people are in those situations, that kind of stuff. If you can join us for it, please feel free to do so. I'm really looking forward to it. Greenland's future must be decided by Ireland and Denmark, Starmer warns Trump. Apparently what he said in the phone call. Police watchdog to probe Met's vetting standards after lax recruitment checks. Yeah, we saw that story already. Abu Dhabi paid for Nigel Farage to meet senior UAE officials. United Arab Emirates funded trip underscores growing international interest from reform Russia. So Abu Dhabi looking like they're the United Arab Emirates are looking to gain influence in the reform Russian party, because they know that will benefit them if they inevitably, at the moment, looks like they're going to, if they, based on numbers, they look like they're going to be the ones going into power. That's very concerning indeed. Ministers look at concessions for UK pubs as business rates grow, backlash grows. UK ministers cuts estimated annual cost of business of Workers' Rights Act to $1 billion there. MPs will vote in any deployment of UK troops to Ukraine, says Starmer there as well. The other stories are opinion pieces. Councils rely on sticky plaster extensions to meet planning targets. Local authorities in England increasingly push back deadlines on decisions as systems become more complex. Starmer should level with voters about foreign policy priorities. Some in government would rather the PM focus on domestic challenges. From steel to guns, inside Britain's newest arms factory, Sheffield, one of the UK's centre for steelmaking, now a rising tide of defence spending promises reveal. Data centre provokes anger over the future of the former Truman Brewery. East London landmark is the latest site capital to be identified for high-tech redevelopment there. Not in my name, Labour's Newtown battle. Ministers respond to UK's acute housing shortage is running into local opposition. Yeah, you're going to always find people who are against these things. US oil groups warn they will need guarantees to invest in Venezuela. Donald Trump will hold more talks with industry bosses as President flexes power over energy markets. Yeah. See, this is it. It's not only is the oil difficult to refine, but also there's no guarantee that they'll be safe as well. And they want the American taxpayer to subsidize them. The gangs, goons, and guerrillas running swathes of Venezuela. Trump is to meet Colombia's Pedro in dramatic deterrent. Wow, he's actually going to meet the Colombian president. Interesting. Self-employed and landlords not ready for new tax rules or warn experts. I need to have a look at that. Greenland's future. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys, I need to... make a note of that on my many notes of things to do. Greenland's future must be decided by islanders. Yep. Trump orders mass US pullout from international organizations. Yeah, because what could possibly go wrong with that? Greg's warns of flatline profits as short as seller's circle. Covered that story last night. Mainly make or break year for Italian politics there. BC drug users will regain weight 2 years after ending medication review finds. So, yeah, okay, so what's the point then? But in the darker power outage shakes Germany as well there. Interesting stories there. Got about 5 minutes left. Let's have a look at the times to see what they are saying there. Good morning, Kirsty. Suffering with swollen jaw after toothache, feeling sorry for myself. I'm sorry to hear that, Kirsty. Hopefully you will feel... I hope you get better soon. I really do. Prescribed wine and Ben and Jerry, says Indy Duckmel. I don't know if that will or won't help, but hope you get it sorted as soon as possible, Kirsty. Thanks for popping in. I do appreciate it. No worries, personality. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. What have they got the times here? Mandelson, Europe must stop piggybacking on the US. Pubs may get bailout as business rates rises, leave many facing closure. Starmer lied and lied about Shadow Minister, claims Beganot. Well, you lie a lot about things as well. Farage wants to base benefits on skin colour, Rees claims. Nigel Farage will argue that's not what he said. He said on foreigners, that's what he said. That's what he'll argue. Rural pubs fear last orders over Labour's drink driving reforms. Scottish MPs behaving like idiots over Starmer. Is that Scottish Labour MPs? That seems quite obvious. Millions face votes delay as councils look to scrap May elections. There. They got the UK unemployment rate at 5.1% there, according to them. Let's have a look at front of UK here, what they got here. Britain targets Putin's shadow fleet after helping seize the tanker there. What else they got here? Oh, here's the Starmer approval rating, minus 51. Polanski minus 5, the least out of all of them there. London pensioners, yeah, we've seen that story. University, no thanks, I'm becoming a black cab driver. Someone became a black cab driver. Entrepreneur gives hopes to Britain a taste for lab-grown sausages. You saw that story before. Farage is to unveil reforms new Scottish leader next week. SNP in a secret attempt to challenge Supreme Court ruling on sex here. Woman caught short in Scotland disguised type of toilets war. I wish they wouldn't use that language. I wish they would not use that language. The amazing cancer team who helped keep me alive for 16 years. Fascinating. That's fantastic to hear. Tumor archive could solve mystery of bowel cancer surgery in under 50s. Oh, I hope it does. Generally do. Moderate exercise as effective as therapy or drugs for depression. That is true. I actually believe that. Moderate exercise does do that. I do agree with that statement. How a bicycle helped a 17-year-old mother return to the classroom. Cambridge College plans to recruit more private school students. Can we vote in 2029? No one told us, says a 12-year-old. And police face scrutiny over the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans because they can't get over that because, you know, Israel, cry. You know, the usual bollocks from them guys. There. Have we got anyone today? No, I've got no one buy me a coffee today, unfortunately. Any new members on Patreon? Remember, if you join the Patreon or buy me a coffee, your name gets added to this fabulous list of wonderful people. If you can do one of the two, it's greatly appreciated. You can add your name to the wonderful list of supporters who are helping me while I'm in this demonetized situation. The Tory graph, the Reform graph, the Russian Telegraph, whatever graph you want to call it. Labour doesn't understand that pubs hold this country together, says Kemi Baggernot. If only she knew that not everyone goes to the pub. If only she realised that. Starmer brings the banter, but Nigel ladies in red is not laughing. British forces help capture your Russian tanker. British couple held in Iran were psychologically tortured with fake releases. Parents spent 3 weeks by the wrong boy's bedside after police mix-up, apparently. And the ice shooting, obviously, absolutely terrible there. Not much there. Let's have a quick look at Byline Times. Have they updated any stories there just before we head out? Elon Musk has made X a threat to democracy in his war on the EU proves it. How I've seen channel rare science and climate calling to Silicon Valley AI elite. The Musk-Trump alliance is back, and the White House wields diplomatic power to defend big tech profits there. So apparently Musk and Trump are made up, apparently. That's not good. A reform chair boost. These are all old stories, I think. That one might be a new one. This one looks new. Reform chair who boasts of experts in business compliance has 10 firms struck off for breaking company law. Why is the government really refusing to investigate Russian interference in Brexit? Because it proves that Brexit was rigged. Keir Starmer must stop chasing reform cruelty and embrace the compassionate politics of his own voters' demands. Yep. They ruined Christmas. Nigerian student blocked from the Home Office from visiting UK family for holidays. Absolutely terrible. Steve Bannon often troubled MAGA as shield for Jeffrey Epstein. Exclusive there as well. Those are some of the stories there from Byline Times. They are some good reads. I do recommend them if you get a chance to there. Indeed. Right, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came along today. Thank you guys for all your comments. I appreciate you guys coming out in high numbers. We had as many as 25 people in the chat at one time, which is fantastic. It's great to see so many people come out and listening on the news through me. I do appreciate people's time. I really, really do. Obviously, if you just a final reminder again, do join myself and Van Man Talks tonight at 8 o'clock. I'm really looking forward to it. If you can't make tonight's live stream, I'll be back live again tomorrow at 11 o'clock for another Good Morning show. I'll also have a mental health live stream at 3 o'clock with Witchy Goth as well on Friday. So we've got 2 live streams there as well. So do join us for 1 or 2 for those shows if you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. Yes, you did early in the week, Viper Scott, and I do appreciate that. Thank you so much for that early in the week. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate that. You've been super helpful to me since I've been demonetized, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, for that. Again, on your thank you guys all again for all your support. I really appreciate it. I don't know when I'm gonna get. I am gonna try to. I haven't appealed yet because I need to get all the information, as much information as I possibly can. But we'll have to see how it goes. But guys, on my on your way out, if you can, for me, guys, please hit that like button, share this across social media, subscribe if you haven't already. Do check out Rumble and Patreon as well. Content's dropping on them across other different social medias. You can find out in the description as well. We also have a free Discord community you can join as well. And just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.